until you were 23, and then you got into the clutches of that awful Mrs. whatever her name was.
Miss Winthrop Louis.
I'm not interested. Oh, and then there was Elvira. She ruled you with a rod of iron.
Elvira never ruled anybody. She was much too elusive for that. In fact, it was one of her greatest charms.
And there was Maud Charterie.
My affair with Maud Charterie lasted exactly 7.5 weeks, and she cried the entire time.
Oh, the tyranny of tears. And then there was...
Look, my dear, if you wish to make an inventory of my love life, I regret to inform you you've missed out upon several episodes. If you want the entire list, I can consult my diary after lunch and give it to you.
No use trying to impress me with your routine amorous exploits.
You know what? The only woman who's ever tried to dominate me is you.
That is entirely untrue.
Yes.
That is entirely untrue.
Oh, no, it isn't. You badger me, you bully me, you order me about, you don't even let me have a hallucination if I want to.
You know, Charles, alcohol will ruin your whole life if you allow it to get a hold of you.
I was not drunk!
Keep quiet, I'll hear you in the kitchen.
I don't care if you mean the Folkestone Town Hall, I was not drunk.
Control yourself, Charles.
How can I control myself in the face of your idiotic damn stubbornness? Give me claustrophobia.
You better ring up Dr. Bradman then.
Can I clear, please?
Yes, Edith.
Cook wants to know about lunch, Mum.
Will you be into lunch, Charles?
Don't worry about me, Edith. I shall be perfectly fine in my bedroom with a bottle of gin.
Don't be silly, Charles. Tell Cook we shall both be in.
Yes, sir.
I'm going into Hythe this morning. Is there anything you want?
Yes, a great deal, but I doubt if you can get in Hythe.
Tell Cook to put Alka-Seltzer on my list, will you, Edith?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's clouding over.
You have a genius for understatement, my dear.
Don't worry about the table, Edith. I'll put it away.
Yes, sir.
Please. Ruth, be reasonable.
I am perfectly reasonable.
I honestly believe that I saw something last night.
But you couldn't have seen something last night.
I know I couldn't have seen anything, but I did.
I am willing to concede then that you imagined you
That's
did.
what I've been trying to tell you for hours.
And there's obviously something wrong with you.
There is something wrong with me, something fundamentally wrong with me. I think I'm going mad.
Do you feel quite well?
All right, I suppose.
What did you have for lunch yesterday?
You ought to know, you had it with me.
Well, there was the lemon sole and the cheese thing.
And why should having a cheese thing make me see my deceased wife after dinner?
You never know, it was rather rich.
Why didn't you see your deceased husband then? You were just as much of as I did.
This is not getting us anywhere at all.
Of course it's not getting us anywhere, because you continue to prescribe supernatural phenomena to colonic irritation.
Supernatural grandmother.
She would have been much less aggravated.
Now look here, Charles. I don't know what you keep insisting that you saw last night. Perhaps there's something pressing on your brain.
I should know if I had anything like that.
Not necessarily. My uncle had a lump the size of a cricket ball pressing on his brain for years, and he never felt a thing.
What happened to him?
He had it removed, and he's been as bright as a button ever since.
Did he ever have any delusions? See things that weren't there?
I don't think so.
Then why the hell are we talking about this? It's a sheer waste of my time.
Just an example.
God.
Maybe you ought to see a psychoanalyst or a nerve specialist.
I am not in the least neurotic and never have been. And furthermore, I refuse to endure months of expensive humiliation, only to be told at the end of it that at age 4 I was in love with my rocking horse.
What do you suggest then?
I don't suggest anything. I'm profoundly uneasy.
Do you feel quite well now?
Physically, do you mean?
Altogether, I suppose.
Other than worrying, I feel fine.
Well, you haven't heard or seen anything in the least unusual?
Nothing at all. Not this morning, at any rate. Oh my
You've
God.
absolutely ruined the border by the sundial. It looks like a mixed salad.
What is it
Oh
now?
my God, oh my God, oh my God. She's here again.
What do you mean, who's here again?
Elvira.
It's all those nasturtiums, I believe. They're so vulgar.
I like nasturtiums.
You like what?
They're all right in moderation, but in a mass like that, they look beastly.
Ruth, you've got to help me, please.
What were you saying about this?
Never mind, I tell you, she's here again.
You have been having a nice scene, haven't you? I could hear you right down the garden.
Look, mind your own business.
If my husband acting like a lunatic isn't my business, I don't know what is.
Look, Ruth, I wasn't talking to you.
Who were you talking to then?
Elvira!
Pull yourself together and don't be absurd.
I suppose it was about me, wasn't it? I know I ought to feel sorry, but I'm not. I'm delighted.
You're horrible.
Horrible! How could you say something like that to me? I've been doing my best to help you since last night. I don't know what more I can do.
Let her have a nice cry. It'll do her good.
You're utterly heartless.
Heartless.
Ruth, tell me, you've got her.
How?
I don't know, make her see you or something.
I'm afraid I couldn't manage that. It's technically the most difficult business, frightfully complicated. It takes years of study.
You are here, aren't you? You're not an illusion.
I may be delusional, but I am most definitely here.
how did you get here?
I told you last night I don't exactly know.
You must make me a promise that in the future you'll only speak to me when I'm alone.
How unkind you are, making me feel so unwelcome. I've never been treated so rudely.
I don't mean to be unkind, but, my dear...
It's your own damn fault for having married a woman who is incapable of seeing beyond the nose on her face. If she had a grain of real sympathy or affection for you, she'd believe what you tell her.
How could anybody believe this?
You'd be surprised how gullible people are. We often laugh about it on the other side.
Charles?
Yes, dear.
I'm so sorry I was cross with you.
But, my
I
dear...
understand everything now. I do, really.
You do?
Of course I do.
Watch out. She's up to something.
Be quiet.
Of course, dear. We'll all be quiet, won't we? We'll all be as quiet as little mice. I want you to come upstairs with me and go to bed.
The way that woman hops on bed is nothing short of erotic.
I'll deal with you later.
Very well, darling. Come along.
What are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I just want you to go quietly upstairs to bed and wait there until Dr. Bradman comes.
No, Ruth, you're wrong.
Come, dear.
Ruth.
She'll have you in a straitjacket before you know where you are.
Then help me, you've got to help me.
My dear, I would with pleasure, but I'm not sure how.
I know. Ruth,
Yes, dear?
if I promise to go upstairs, will you let me stay here for just 5 minutes longer?
I really think it would be better if you went...
Please bear with me, just 5 minutes, please.
Very well. What is it?
All right, sit down.
All right.
Now, you see those flowers are on the table.
Yes. I did them myself this morning.
Very untidy, if I may say so.
You may not!
Very well, darling. I will never do them again. I promise.
Anyway, Elvira is now going to carry those flowers from the table to the mantelpiece and back again. You will, Elvira, just to please me.
I don't see why I should, seeing as how you've been insufferable ever since I materialized.
Please, Elvira.
Fine, just this once. Not that I approve of all these masculine and deviant carrying-ons.
All right, now, Ruth, look.
All right, dear.
Go on, Elvira, carry it. Don't be silly.
Of course, yes, I can't forgive you. Please just let me go.
You have to believe me.
Let me go, immediately.
It's Elvira.
Oh, it's the Spanish. She madness. It's some sort of logic suggestion, isn't it? Some form of hypnosis or something. Swear to me. It's only that. Swear to me. It's only that.
Hypnotism, my foot!